Hey guys, it's Lou here from Country Club Comics. Well, I thought I would throw my hat in the ring and talk about my wish list for 2023. Today is January 1st, so Happy New Year to all of you. And I hope it's going to be a really great year for everybody, especially in the comic community. Now, I'm not going to include major grails, of course, because I'm going to try to make this very ambitious list actually happen before the end of this year. I have a certain number of books in 3 categories. I have copper, bronze, and silver. And I have certain caps on them. So on the bronze and the copper, I have a $500 cap per book. Not that I'll spend that much. And a $1,000 cap on the silver age, which that's going to be a lot of money. So, again, you buy the book, not the grade. So I don't mind getting lower grades, not an issue. But I don't want to get, coverless books as part of my collection. So there are 38 books in total. Many of these are easily attainable. Some of these I can kick myself for because I had them and got rid of them. I'll explain that as we go along. But I really want to have some fun fulfilling a wish list. And maybe some of these will be on your list. Maybe we can trade. Who knows, right? So the copper books. Let's start off with 2 bangers here. I want these 2 books. I want Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 and #3. Now, and I want the first prints. Now, I have #4. Let me just shut this off because people just keep texting now. All right. I have #2 and #4. 2 is in a 9.0, which, is a cool grade. It's a good grade. 4 I have not gotten graded because it takes so long to grade magazines, and it's not worth it to push it through the walkthrough because the cost to grade will be more than the value. But those are 2 I would like. Next, Marvel Superheroes #8, or Secret Wars #8. I could kick myself because I had 3 of these. I'm going to see if I can find a copy of my inventory from years ago. I had 3 of these in near mint condition. These were purchased directly from... they weren't purchased from the newsstand. They were purchased from... I believe there was a guy in Brooklyn, Douglas something or other. He was a distributor. I bought them when they came out. These I bought when they came out, and I don't have them now. I sold them as part of a Spider-Man lot. I know. But I want to get it back just because, I just want it just because it's a big book. And back then it was a very, very minor key. I mean, nobody cared that he had a black costume, to be honest. But it's a great book anyway, or whatever the big story is with that one. Okay, this one I also had... And actually, the next ones, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, I had all of them. And got rid of all of them. One of them went missing. I have no idea where it is. But I want to get these books back. And they are, in no particular order. ASM 252. Okay, I had that. Marvel Team Up 141. Guys, this was a nothing book. This book was nothing. And then all of a sudden it became paired with the first black costume, but this was a nothing book, and now it's a big deal. I want to get that back. This one I didn't realize, Batman 357. I had it on my list. I have it. I checked my inventory. I had it. So I'm already 1 book into my attainable wish list, right? Okay, so I have that, and I was shocked yesterday. I said, wait a minute. I'm going to put that in the video. I'm going to leave it in the video. I'm not going to take it out. Okay. This one, Star Wars 107. Not only did I have 107, I had the whole series. Now, I know at the time 107 was the big deal even back then. 1, 2, 3, 4, you found them everywhere. Okay, but 107, it was rare. You couldn't find it. There was low distribution. So 107, I want that one, but I had it, and of course got rid of the whole series because I'm not that intelligent. Predator #1. This book I bought when it came out. I think this was 1990. The cover on this, to me, the best cover of that year and probably the surrounding year. I thought this was a fantastic cover. I had it in mint condition, in a bag, in a board. It was doing nothing. When I got rid of this book, it was worth $6. That was the going rate for this book. $6 when I got rid of this book. And again, I sold it at an auction with a bunch of other books. So I want that book back. And this one, Transformers #1. I had this book, first print, and I went to look at my inventory one day and it was gone. Just gone. I'm like, what? I went through every book in my filing cabinet. I don't have that many books. I have, raw books. I have maybe, well, if we do 3, 6, 9, 12, maybe less than 2,000 raw. I don't really keep a lot of raw books on hand. But that one was in my filing cabinet. Everything is alphanumerically ordered and wasn't there. Went through every shelf, every drawer, everything. Nothing, not there. And New Mutants number 10, New Mutants 98. I know everybody has it. I'm not in such a rush to get this because there are so many. But, I still want that first Deadpool. It's just it's a cool cover. I don't know if it would be as cool a cover if it wasn't for the first Deadpool. Because it's okay. Is that a Liefeld, I think? Need my coffee. And this one, I just want because it's rare. It's hard to get. I mean, you can get it, but you have to pay over retail in many cases. This is Vampirella number 113. Final copy, last issue. I'd also like to get number 1, but for this list, for the purposes of this, I'd like to get 113. It's just a it's rare, so I want it. That's pretty much the desire for this book. This next one, number 12, is Betty and Veronica 320. Now, if you guys don't know what this is, I'm sure you do. This is the first appearance of Cheryl Blossom. When the Riverdale show premiered, this book sort of exploded a little bit. It came out of the woodwork, because I don't know if it was a key before. It might have been. I mean, I don't know. I didn't do research on it, but I don't know if it was a key before Riverdale. And then the Riverdale came out, and Cheryl Blossom was the big deal. And, I want all the Archie keys. I really do. There's another one I'll mention in another list, but we'll get to that in a little while. Number 13, and just 2 more in the Copper Age. DC Presents 47. Again, I don't know when this book became what it became. I know it's been a major key for probably 7 or 8 years. But it's a huge book. I had this book. I know I had this book. I had most of the DC Presents. And then finally, this one I know I had, Tales of the Teen Titans 44, First Nightwing. And I like this because I like the Nightwing character, especially the way he's portrayed on the show Titans, which, if you're not watching, is a pretty good show. Pretty good show. Okay. Let's move. So all of those, I'll have for a lot of those, $500 is a very large cap. I don't need to spend that much money on those books. But for these bronze books, $500 is probably accurate. So, and again, some of these I had. I'm going to start with the ones I had, just to punish myself some more. Number 1, Hero for Hire number 1. I had this. Everybody had this. And cool cover. But it was one of those number 1s, along with a whole bunch of others that just didn't hit it. Wasn't a big one to have. Hero for Hire, Ghost Rider, number 1. Is there another one there? There was a couple of other number 1s in that same era. They were good books, but they weren't huge. You didn't go out, you didn't seek them out. I want this book back. ASM 101. I had this, wretched condition. And that's why I got rid of it. So I don't feel so badly about that because it really was in bad condition. Not even like press-worthy. It was pretty trashed. So don't care about that. Scooby-Doo number 1. Yes, I had this. Then a couple of years ago, I'm looking at prices. I'm like, are you kidding me? For this? And I had this book. And I look at it now, I'm like, I can't believe that this is what it is. This is nuts. But it is what it is. This red cover, I guess in a high grade it's pretty hard to get because of that red cover. But I want it back. I just want it back. Strange Tales number 169. I'm telling you, this again was a nothing book. It was a nothing book. Brother Voodoo, who knew Brother Voodoo? And then there were stirrings that Brother Voodoo would make an appearance in Doctor Strange. I don't know if they... Oh, you know what? The first Doctor Strange, I think his... some you guys can put it in the comments. His brother was in it, or there was a relative, I believe, of Doctor Strange. I'm sorry, of Brother Voodoo that was in Doctor Strange, and that's why they thought that in the sequel he would make an appearance, and this book skyrocketed. And then you look at it, you're like, okay, it's actually a pretty cool looking book. So I want to get that one. All right. Okay, we have 3 heavy hitters, which thankfully have come down in price, you know, with this new, with the correction that we're going through. And I have another video coming out about that, or at least lessons we've learned. But these 3, Spotlight 5, Special Marvel Edition 15, and Premiere 15. Okay, Ghost Rider, Shang-Chi, Iron Fist. I want those 3. I never had these 3. So I will say that. These are 3 I never had, never came across them in a collection. But I would love to have these books. I think they're really, in terms of their covers, I think they're fabulous. They really are. They really are just representative of the Bronze Era and that first premiere issue of this here. I think the covers are outstanding on these 3. Okay, those are big ones. We have 2 more. These have also come down in price. Well, one of them's come down in price. I know that. Shazam 28. This is the second appearance of Black Adam, the reintroduction of Black Adam. And here's the thing. I don't know what happened with that movie. And maybe I'm off base here. I liked it. I went there. I watched the movie on, I think, the second day of its premiere, or the premiere day. And it was a pretty good movie. It's just fun. Why did it not make the money it should have made? I don't get it. I guess that, you know, the whole DC up to James Gunn has been cursed. Even though I was not a fan of the Snyderverse, that's a whole other video. Whole other video. I keep saying whole nother. You ever do that? A whole nother. There's no such word as nother. A whole other video. All right. And last, but certainly not least, Detective Comics 411. Now, I want this book. This is the first Talia al Ghul. I want this book because it's one of those keys that's within a cluster of keys from that era. And this is really the only one I don't have. I have the first League of Assassins. I have the first Ra's al Ghul. I want this Talia al Ghul book. And again, condition with this, not really that important. All right, let's move into the silver. Now, these are 2 books I will get this year. Guaranteed. That's Avengers number 4, which I've wanted for a very long time. I'm getting it this year. And Detective Comics 359, the first Batgirl. So first Cap and first Batgirl, first Cap and Silver Age, and then first Batgirl. I want these 2 books. The thing is, I'm hoping dealers are smart and bring their prices down a little bit. I went to Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, and I looked for this book, Detective 359. Excuse me, everybody had it on their shelves. And I looked at one copy, it was about a 1.8 2.0. The guy wanted $700 for it. $700. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not even going to bother bargaining. How do you bargain that down? Do you tell the guy, look, I'll give you $200? I mean, for a 2.0, $700? Maybe I'm off here, guys. I don't know. But I'm not going to go crazy paying for this book. I want a decent copy, but I want it in the 3-4, and then maybe I'll consider that price. But I'm hoping they realize time for their prices to come down. So, next one. Ever since Iron Man 2, I've wanted this copy of Tales of Suspense 52, which is, of course, the first Black Widow. And I look at this cover and I'm like, that's not Black Widow. That looks like a rich woman. It kind of looks like Cruella de Vil, to be perfectly honest. And I don't know how she I don't know the story of how this person becomes the Black Widow that we know. But I want that book. Great cover. I have the first appearance of Hawkeye, even though it's restored. But I'd like the first appearance of Black Widow. And I have a need for Spidey, because I don't have Spidey 1, but I do have some lower numbers. But I need number 2, First Vulture. This is a cool book. This is really a cool book. It's got a mostly reddish orange color. And I like the way the Vulture looks. But there's no way I'll be able to afford a high grade. And I'd like number 4, Sandman. This cover I'm not crazy about because of the boxes on it. But it is the first Sandman, and it's kind of cool. So I want that book. And of course, number 14. First Green Goblin. This is an error. I love this cover. There's so much going on in this cover. I love it. It's like a story in itself, you know? That's what covers should be. And this is one I want. I don't like the Sergeant Fury series. I think it went on way too long, if you ask me. The only two I want from there are number 1 and number 13. I have number 13 in terrible condition. I got it on Whatnot for like, I don't know, $13. That's how bad condition it is. But I just wanted that cover with cap on it. But I want number 1. So I think it's cool to have the number 1s of those series. If I don't get it, it doesn't bother me so much. I could always find something else to replace it. But I would like Sergeant Fury number 1, because I don't know if there are any other keys in that series. And the character doesn't really intrigue me that much. Gotta be honest. Daredevil number 7. I don't think I ever had this book, because I don't think I would have gotten rid of it. Given First Red costume and the Submariner, I don't think I would have gotten rid of it. So I want this book. It's a cool book to have. And with Daredevil's exploding. He really is. So I want this one. This next one, maybe you guys are into it. I don't know. I want Richie Rich number 1. I want a copy of Richie Rich number 1. It's got an awesome cover. It's, bright yellow, that typical yellow that Harvey Comics used. I would like number 1. I mean, I don't mind a lower grade on this one, but I might be able to go with a higher grade, because I don't know if this is that expensive. Definitely high grades over $1,000 for sure. But I might actually spend a little bit more money on a higher grade for this one. And while we're on these Archie books, or these sort of Archie books, I want the first appearance of Godzilla. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's in an Archie book. That's in Life with Archie number 41, which features Godzilla and Mothra. They're not named in the book, but it's their first U.S. appearance. So I want that. And maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud until I bought one. There goes the competition, right? Stupid. Maybe I'll buy it before I put this video up. And then let's go back to DC for a few. Hawkman number 4. First Zatanna. And I see a lot of people getting this book. I don't think it's that hard to find. But I would like this. I think Zatanna is going to have a more prominent place in comics and perhaps in movies and TV. Who knows? But I think they've underutilized her in a lot of ways in all the media. So maybe she'll be making an appearance. Either way, it's a cool cover and a nice first appearance to get. Number 12, Action 242. First Brainiac. I'm not a Superman series fan. I think a lot of the Superman books, unfortunately, are kind of silly throughout the run. And I don't know why, but this is, you want to get the ones that have serious, really serious stories. And this Brainiac one's pretty cool. So I'd like to get this one. And Adventure Comics 247. I love this cover. I've wanted this book forever. First Legion of Superheroes. Hopefully I get this. And we're going to finish up with a couple of FFs. I have most of the keys to FF. I have 48, 49, but I need 50. I need Silver Surfer. I need that Silver Surfer on the cover, and I know it's an absolutely hideous cover. I don't think it would have been as bad had they changed the brown a little bit to anything, even like a blue sky or put a background there. But Silver Surfer against the brown, not great. I know I was watching, who was it? Dave? Comic Book Investments. He was talking about, I think he actually did a switch of the brown to black. I agree with him 100%. It was so much better. So the brown sort of turns me off, but I really want that book. And I did buy it, and I think I paid $250 or $300 for it. And when it got to me from an auction house, somebody had traced over all of the figures on the cover in ink. And I called them back, and they said, okay, no problem, we'll just give you your money back. So I sent it back to them, and they apologized or whatever. But that was the closest I came to getting this book. And the last FF I would like is, look, I'm not going to say FF1 or 5 or 2. Those are out of my reach. But I would like FF12. First battle between the Hulk and the Thing, because this could still actually happen. And that's what's kind of cool. I look at things. I mean, this can actually still happen in movies. You know, with all the characters either dying off or retiring or just moving on or whatever, it's kind of sad to know our main characters aren't there anymore without some major changes to the storylines. But it's nice. It's nice to know we can still have these team ups and battles, things like that. And Thing and the Hulk can absolutely happen. So I'm hoping. And that's it. That's it. So I haven't even attempted to think what this would cost me. If I went with my max, of course, it would be somewhere around probably 30 grand. I'm not spending 30 grand. You guys think what would this? I mean, you guys let me know. Think about it. How much should I spend to get these books? What are these worth? Because remember, a lot of these are easily attainable. Not like they're rare books. I don't think any of these are rare books. But I mean, what do you think? Put it in the comments. And if you think I missed something, or you see something that I would like in addition to these books, let me know, because maybe I missed something. I mean, I went through the, was it the Sell My Comics or Overstreet? I forget which list I went through of top keys. I said I'd like this, like that. And some weren't even on the list. Some were just ones I wanted. But let me know. And there are no wrong answers. I'm not gonna, refi my house to buy these books, but as we go along the year, hopefully at this time next year, I'm still here. I hope that I'll have a majority of these books, and we'll have a video on that. All right, guys, listen. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful year, and that it's very prosperous, and that's it. So take care, ladies and gents. I'll see you.